If you look at the Divine Liturgy, for example, and I'm sure all of you have had the experience, is that we have to think about the entire Divine Liturgy as a prayer. I mean, there are prayers within the Divine Liturgy, yes, separate. But as you heard, even our hymnography, even our petitions, everything is a prayer. And there are special parts in there, and this is going to tie in with how we participate. Certain times during the Divine Liturgy, if you think that most of the Divine Liturgy is structured around the priest offering their silent prayer, at least in the rubrics. Many times I think we recite these out loud for the benefit of those who are, for our faithful to hear what we're saying, but we are offering that prayer on their behalf. But if we did this silently and you hear dead air, you don't hear any sounds. I've been in some parishes where suddenly the priest goes silent, he's reciting his prayers, and all of a sudden they're chanting Kyrie eleison, Lord have mercy, over and over again, and you're sitting there going like, no, 3 times. Because nobody can stand silence. But sometimes no words are probably the best words. No words, as long as your heart and your mind are focused where they should be. But that's an opportunity to offer their own prayer, not out loud, do it silently. It's not out of place to offer a petition to God at the same time where others as well may be doing it, for different reasons. There's nothing wrong with that. You are in the presence. You're in the presence of the Lord. That's perfectly appropriate. This brings me down to the other level, the micro level. This is that level, the individual level. Because as individuals, we don't get swept away by our involvement in the corporate prayer, regardless of whether it's Divine Liturgy, Vespers, our many services. And as I said, one of the things I've heard people say is, well, I get distracted. I get distracted during the liturgy. I get distracted during prayer. And you can ask somebody, well, what do you get distracted by? Random things. Sometimes good, sometimes bad, but all the time, something gets taken away your focus from where it should be. I always love the story, if you've probably heard it, of St. John of Kronstadt, who was praying in his church, and he was there at the front, he was praying silently, and Satan appears to him and tells him, how can you be such a hypocrite and pray when I can see your thoughts and I know what's going through your mind and you're praying? What a hypocrite. And the great saint, all he could say was, it is because I have these thoughts that I pray. We're not always going to be successful doing this. We're not going to be that too, but we have to remember that our participation in the cycle of services, which is fundamentally a parish's rule of prayer, invites us, brings us in, and invites us to bring our own personal rule. That doesn't mean you're going to jump up and yell hallelujah anytime at inappropriate times, because that's not what we practice. But that the two tie together, it's very hard to tease apart in this nice little thing where we say we got this rule of prayer and that rule of prayer and that rule of prayer. You're going to hear from Mother Gabriella in a little bit on monastic rule of prayer, and I think that I won't steal her thunder on this, but a monastic cycle of services is precisely that. It's all the cycle of services and the prayer. It all blends together. It all blends together. Simple. I don't think I could add any wisdom than whatever anybody else is going to say tonight. Did you time me? Father? Are you timing me? Do I have time for a joke? No, I'm just kidding. But I would hope that you consider, and I think one of the biggest challenges we have in a parish rule of prayer is getting people to come to the services. It's not always easy when we're living lives which tend to pull us in the opposite direction. And that includes priests as well. I'll speak for myself, actually. Right.